Listen, hold on. We're trying to get Facebook locked and loaded. But anyway, y'all, talking about some hey, everybody. So welcome to our third episode, our third night together, our third girl chat, and we just want to say welcome back. Okay, now we all in sync, yeah. Now we all in sync. Hey, everybody, hey.
Technical difficulties, but
I know, but we back though. We down. So anyway, we just want to welcome everybody. Welcome back to our third episode. And today we are talking about boundaries, betrayal, and listen, and visions.
Hello.
And we just want to say welcome. We just want to make sure you grab a snack and you hop in the chat and you ready just to get into it. And make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and all of that good stuff. And make sure you drop a heart in the comments because the first 10 hearts in the comments, I'm just saying that you get swag back. Who don't like free stuff? I like free stuff. You like free stuff. So let's get some free stuff. So make sure that you drop your hearts in the comments. And we just want to say welcome. And we appreciate y'all. And thank you. So listen, so tonight we are what we getting into? We're talking about we're talking about friendships, we're talking about betrayal, we're talking about trauma bonding,
everything. Because people out here breaking girl code, and it is just not right. Like, what is going on out here in these streets? You know, you guys have been talking about girl code, and you're breaking girl code, and who's breaking it, and it's just not working. So we want to get into that just a little bit. So if you have any questions or comments about how somebody betrayed you by breaking girl code, we want y'all to drop it in the comments, you know, and just leave us a message and tell us what's going on, right?
Yes. Because listen, a lot of us out here don't know how to be real friends.
Not at all.
A lot of y'all out here don't know how to be real friends, and it's just a lot of folks, listen, they trauma bonded and they drama bonded. And folks are bonded and they ain't got nothing in common but hate. And we just want to figure that out. We want to talk about, first of all, I want to know, drop something in the comments, like what is an unforgivable act that you feel like, okay, we were friends, like I just can't forgive this. I just can't forgive this. I can't let this go. Like make sure you drop something in the comments. Like, what is the one act that you're like, that is unforgivable? Like, I'm out. It's non-negotiable.
Yeah. See that one. Ooh. I mean, I have quite a few.
Okay.
I have quite a few. I think I'm gonna stay in line with the girl code, and we're gonna talk about sharing secrets after the friendship is over. I think that's for me. The relationship is already kind of over at that point. But still, you just never know if you're gonna be able to get back with that person at some point in time. But I think that's just it for me. What about for you?
I'm gonna have to second you on that.
Yeah.
I think that especially we are all at a particular age.
Yeah.
And we have, again, at this age, we have been friends for probably 5, 10, 15, some of us 20 plus years. And it's like, okay, whether we fell out or we grew apart, like when does it become okay to now I'm finna share our secrets and now I'm finna tell all your family business. Yeah. Now I'm finna, when did that become normalized? Like when did that get normalized? Like, why is that okay? Why is it okay that now we fell out? Now I'm gonna tell everybody what you did in your 20s. I'm gonna tell everybody that you had my outfit on last week. I'm gonna tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did that become okay? And I just think we live in a culture where it's just like everything is almost acceptable. Like, whether you air people's business on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever that is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm old school. I just don't. I don't know. I don't want spot on my record and listen. And I just don't believe in matching people's energy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's the big thing now. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep that same energy. Listen, you can keep your trash ass energy. I don't want it. And listen, and I think it's important for us to keep our energy so then we can attract people that are in line with us. And normally when I step out of my comfort zone and I'm in a whole different energy, I feel like that's more exhausting.
It is. I'm wondering, where did we get that from? Because I know I've seen a lot of that stuff on social media, and I feel like I was guilty of it as well. I've said And the same thing, like I'm gonna keep that energy. I'm gonna match this person's energy, but I never would be like, you know what, I'm a pillow talk, or I'm gonna share secrets that they have told, or we, did some dirt together. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, and I remember she ain't. I never did that type of person. When I say keep that same energy, I feel like I am going to say that I don't want to deal with that person. So if they, shaded me, then I'm gonna shade them. But it was never I'm spilling secrets or anything like that. But I wonder, where did that come from with that match, that energy? Like, cause I know I see it on social media all the time where people just, they hear a saying and it's hot and it's catchy, and then it spreads like wildfire, but not really understanding the damage that it does to relationships and friendships. Because I think that relationships are repairable. Like, you may hit a rock and hit a wall at the same time with a relationship, but that don't mean that you go out and you start spreading the dirt that this person did or y'all did together, or told secrets. Like, people really divulge to their friends a lot of information, because half of us are not in therapy, so we don't talk to our therapist. So we talk to our friends and we let out every single thing that you would never even tell a person. So that's why I want to know, like, where did that come from? To where it's like, well, if they said something on me, then I'm gonna say something about them. It's like, if I hit you, you hit me, and it's just a continuous cycle of abuse. And I think that that's where, at some point in time, we as women and as a sisterhood, somebody have to stand up and say, okay, I'm gonna stop it. I'm not gonna do that, because that is really breaking girl code. It's not G. We cannot do this. Somebody has to be the mature person, especially as we are women of a particular age. We have to recognize when we are going to say, you know what, I'm gonna take my leave here, and I'm gonna do something different, and I'm gonna do something better, because me hurting you because you hurt me is not gonna get us anywhere. No. You know what I mean?
And then it does get to that point where it is unrepairable.
Yeah.
Because again, you then told again all of what I feel like is sacred, or my business, or whatever that looks like. And I think it gets to a point where it's unrepairable. And then also too, I've been in situations, or have been in previous situations, where not only are folks telling your business, now they created and changed the whole narrative. Like, so you just gonna lie on me, sis? Like, wait. And I feel like that's the weird, that's the problem. It's like, that's the problem. Like, okay. And I feel like a lot of that just becomes the lack of accountability, because I feel like a lot of people want you to be the bad guy to make what they doing to you okay.
Oh yeah.
Or especially the folks either, okay, now I don't like you. Now I want everybody else. Like, you want everybody else to feel the way that you feel about me.
Yeah.
And that part to me, like, that not only does it sucks, like, I don't know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I just think we need to normalize, number one, accountability. Because one thing that I feel like that life teaches you lessons, and accountability allows you to learn from them.
Yeah.
And it's like, and a part of accountability is taking responsibility. Like, man, I'm sorry, I messed up, I did whatever. But I feel like we are in a culture where we rather lose people, we rather lose genuine people and relationships in our lives, just because we don't want to say sorry. We don't want to say I messed up.
That's like, so important.
And I think that is super duper unfortunate. It's super duper unfortunate. And like I said, it stings. And I just think we gotta do better.
Yeah, because it's really hard that when you get into a situation and you don't know, and let's normalize understanding that there's nothing wrong with saying I'm sorry, or apologizing, and being genuine with it. If you value a friendship, and you care about a relationship or a person, or anything that you're dealing with, it's okay to have disagreements. No relationship is going to be perfect to where everything is always peaches and cream. It's just not going to happen. And if you disagree, or there comes a time to where y'all butt heads and there's an issue, there's nothing wrong with apologizing and saying I'm sorry, because sometimes we get into situations to where we just like, man, forget that person. I'm gonna just go ahead and let them do them, and I'm gonna do me. And you're cutting off a genuine relationship and a genuine friendship without even repairing it. And it's like, I'm a firm believer in life will continue to teach you the same lesson until you learn from it. So until you learn how to be forgiven and apologize and accept that, that same lesson is going to keep hitting you over and over and over again. And we need to normalize, having these discussions with our friends. Like, "Do you hurt me? I feel like this," or whatever the case it is, instead of just blowing each other off and saying that, "Nah, I don't want to deal with you no more."
And what about my girl Trina? She said becoming friends with your enemies because that's the one thing you got in common. And that's a real thing. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. And that's a real thing. And those relationships, they don't last. They are very, very short-lived, because the problem is that you all became friends because y'all have this one common denominator. And once you all no longer have that in common, you always have nothing to talk about. Y'all ain't got nothing. That's no more with your hey twin.
Yes.
That ain't your sis. That ain't your twin. That ain't your friend. And I see that so much. It's like, especially too, we all been younger too. And I mean, especially even getting like, dang on where you don't like
right.
sex.
Why are y'all talking? Why are y'all talking?
We didn't nickname her Boots. We call her, you saying Boots?
Musty shoes.
You say, we all got, you know how they go, this girl. We all got, we all got our nicknames for folks. And now you being friends with Boots, because now both of y'all don't like me. Like, that's going to be very short-lived, and it's not going to be a good time either. I'm just saying.
Listen, we only got a short period of time on this here earth. Why are y'all creating these unnecessary situations? Like,
when you can be cultivating genuine friendships and genuine relationships.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, especially once you get older in age, and when I love that saying, when you know better, you do
better. Yeah.
But you know better, you do better. And it's like, and again, that's what accountability comes in there. Because again, you will continue to bump your head, make the same mistakes until like there's some level of accountability and responsibility in that thing. And we've all been victim and villain. Like, let's be clear. We've all been victim and villain. We've all got things that we can apologize for, that we should apologize for.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, don't miss out on genuine relationships and genuine people, all because you mad, all because you don't know how to say sorry, all because you got loose lips and you got an attitude, and now you want to post folks' business. That's just not. It's just not. I don't know. It's tacky.
Yeah, and we too grown to be involved in the fisticuffs, child. We ain't fighting nobody. We are trying to learn to use our words, and we're trying to do better. Each one teach one is really what it is that we are trying to do. And I know it took me all the way up until I was a young adult, probably 21 or 22, before I was even able or even capable of apologizing to somebody, because I felt like it made me weak. Yeah. If I came to them and I apologized. And I feel like in that situation, I was in the wrong. I was on some stuff. I was starting some stuff. That's one thing about me. I would tell you, if I'm starting some stuff, that's just, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I was on dummy. I was starting some stuff. And I kind of sort of was starting some stuff. And I felt like it went way further than what I thought it was going to be. And somebody matched energies with me. And it became something that shouldn't have happened. And I had to humble myself and come apologize to that person. And, it was reciprocated, it was received, and we're cool. You know what I mean? It was, we talked about it, we hashed it out. I said how I felt and how I even got myself involved. And I think the one thing that we need to do is learn how to be honest with ourselves and honest with other people too. Because again, if I'm sitting here like, I know I wasn't starting nothing, I knew how I was. Yeah, I knew exactly what I was doing. You know what I mean? I was honest with myself, and I was like, yeah, you involved yourself in something that didn't have anything to do with you, and you were wrong. And I think it's important that we admit that to ourselves more so than it is to other people, because we can truly be cutting off relationships and genuine friendships with people. Like, if we don't learn these skills at some point in our lives, the cycle is just going to continue. We're going to teach that to our circle of peers, and we're going to most importantly teach that same thing to our kids. And when they go out into the world, they doing the same thing, you know. And we're trying to eliminate that. We're trying to cut that off at the head to where we can stop breaking girl code, because girl code is so important. It can save our lives. It can save our relationships, and it can, you know, you're cultivating genuine relationships, and these people can be your sounding board for businesses and all the different things.
And people kill me too, when especially I'm talking to women, like, I don't know, we've all been around somebody or been that person's like, you know, I don't get along with women, I only hang out with dudes, or I only do this and I only do that. And I think that, and as I've gotten older, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, how can you be a woman and say you don't connect with other women? Like, there is something within your person that you need to go ahead. We need to reevaluate. We need to evaluate, because the truth of the matter is that we need sisterhood. Like, we need sisterhood. Like, that's accountability. Like, that's your home. Listen, your sister can be your homie, your friend, your pastor, your counselor. Like, I mean, again, like, we need sisterhood. We need sisterhood to grow. Like, I don't want yes people around me. I mean, I feel like I was at an age, again, long ages ago, that I want people to agree with me. Listen, don't be in my circle and all you do is agree with me. Like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that I could do something different. Tell me, like, I'd rather hear from you than the world. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Let me be mad. Give me $1,000 and then you know I'm you, and I'm gonna tell you was right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like folks just ready to cut people off. Like, you cut people off, you're blocking folks. Like, so I can't be on your Instagram either, sis. Right. Like, I can't like the kids' pictures. Like, okay, cool. Like, and I just feel like I just feel like we just live in a culture where it's just, I don't know. It's the cutoff culture. It's the everything goes culture. It's just, I don't know. Certain things gotta be left on school. Yeah. Like, let's talk about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't care for it. We gotta do better. We have to do better. We get older. We gotta do better, ladies. Like, we have to do better. And
that cancel culture, cutoff culture, that's really not cool.
No.
Because it's not teaching us how to develop relationships either. It's not teaching us how to develop anything beyond a dispute. It's like, if you cut off everybody that you have a disagreement with, then what?
Hello.
You know what I mean? It's like, then what do you do after that? We definitely have to stop doing that. And like you were saying, I don't want yes people around me at all, because if I'm doing something dumb and you like, yeah, that's good. And I'm just like, oh, okay, well, maybe it's not dumb. And the whole time it's something that I shouldn't be doing. And then I get myself in trouble, or I lose money, or anything else behind that. But when you put a set up here and voice your opinion, there's nothing wrong. Like, you can have a relationship with somebody and have different opinions. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, I'd rather us sit down and have and that makes a good girl night. A bottle of wine, good flowing discussions, back and forth opinion. Like, if we all thinking the same, and there's no growth.
No, absolutely not.
Where's the growth?
And be careful too. I feel like one thing that I've learned that life has taught me is that I was a person who always wanted to defend myself. And what I've paid attention to is that there are people who are assignments to your life, and there are people who are attachments. Ooh. And typically the attachments are the ones that, again, it's chaotic. It's a shit show. And I feel like that you'll know the people who are assigned to you. And I feel like that I've learned that the people who believe the shenanigans or even listen to or entertain it, like, those folks wanted to believe that about you anyway. Right. So, and honestly, they're not your people. Yeah. So I just, I let folks think what they want to think, because I feel like the people who know, and those who don't, those are people I probably don't know anyway. Yeah. So I just don't feel the need to always, I don't feel the need to defend myself. I don't feel the need to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to defend my character or my take or who I am. Like, listen, I feel like the people who know. And then sooner or later, listen, I don't know. Everything in the dark comes to the light. Like, true. And it just is what it is. So I just feel like we gotta be better. Not only just girl code, it's life code. Yeah. It's life code. It's life code. So we definitely gotta get better. And it also, like, I don't know. I don't want to be connected to nothing or anybody that doesn't like, honor, or respect me, and vice versa. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of the times we overplay our roles and positions in people's lives as well. And that also, and that goes into the top of almost like trauma bonding.
That's a good one.
I would say like trauma bonding. And I know we all got our different versions of what trauma bonding is. And I know I don't know. I feel like I'm on the fence because I feel like when I think about trauma bonding, I think of all the negative things about trauma bonding and what the root of it is.
Yeah.
Then I think about like people who have whether it's substance abuse and things like that, they bond over certain things, and I think that a genuine relationship can be formed from that. I think that trauma bonding becomes a problem when you're looking for this person to feel something in you.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I always thought about this, and I will not even sit here and lie. And I ain't gonna lie to the good people. Like I've been in a situation to where I bonded with somebody over trauma, and so I mean, the definition of trauma bonding is pretty much self-explanatory. You have a situation, and you got the education. Go ahead and tell them what it is.
Listen, but I don't know. For me, I think that trauma bonding is. I think it's. I don't know. I think it's an addiction in a relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's an addiction in a relationship. I think that you all are bonding over whatever traumatic thing that is going on that you all have in common.
Yeah.
And I think that it becomes more volatile because it typically is one person, one or the other, who may be the stronger one or whatever that may or may not look like. And you find yourself losing yourself in that situation. So whether you are sacrificing yourself, overextending yourself, you're overstepping, listen, y'all, emotions are intermeshed where you feel that they feel like, and there is no degree of separation. And I typically believe that trauma bond relationships are hard to step away from.
I think so.
They are harder. I don't care if it's personal or a friendship. Like they're harder to walk away from because I think that they mirror patterns in your childhood.
For sure, it's you find this relationship. You have something that you have similarities with people already, and then you have this one thing that this thing that happened to you, and it could be one with a savior, or it could be something a trauma that you both have in common, and that's where you connect. That is the core. That is what holds the relationship together. Is that particular issue right there. But then what happens when there's growth in one party and then there's nothing there? It's like, it's like people have very difficulty of letting that relationship go because not even knowing that you guys are trauma bonded, you are just constantly, you're just like, I don't want to let this person go. They're a good person. They're this and this. But then on the other hand, it's like, oh, I don't have anything in common with this person. There's no, I'm not trying to go. Like they're just energy vultures.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, that situation is so real. Like we can really get into that too. But it's just like I am trying to get away. I'm trying to grow, but this person is not allowing me. They continue to drain me and bring me back to, the situation that it was. And, it's just everything, it revolves around that trauma. So that, you build bonds with people like that. But what happens when when one person elevates? And then that can look like, well, this person thinks they're better than me. And, they're trying to do something with themselves. And I don't like what it is that they're doing because I'm still here. And it's like, how do you get out of that situation? I don't have the answer to it, though, but I know you got to.
Listen, you have to. And I think it's a matter of, it's a must. And I think that walking away from, especially tough relationships like that, I think it's a matter of you rebuilding yourself. And I think a part of rebuilding yourself is you're going to have to change the way you think, your beliefs, just your thought process in general, because it is absolutely going to call you to rebuild yourself. It's going to absolutely call you to rebuild yourself. And honestly, and I feel like that too, what I've noticed too is that, let's say we both unhealthy. We're bonding over different things that are not good, and we're both in an unhealthy situation. And this relationship, and this is what we have. I think it comes to. I think that there's a part of I feel like that whether it's uncomfortable or not, whether it's painful or not, I feel like that once we're in a place where we feel comfortable, even though that pain is comfortable, like I'd rather stay in this even though it's painful, but at least it's familiar.
Yeah.
At least it's familiar. Like at least I know what this looks like. At least I know what this feels like. Yeah. Because I mean, so a lot of us fear the unknown. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that you're gonna have to put yourself out there. And unfortunately, there are gonna be situations and relationships that you're going to have to distance yourself from. Like you're going, and you got to be in self-preservation mode. Like you got to choose to save yourself or them.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, unfortunately, and there's been times where I've chose not to save myself. I've chosen to fall on the sword, and it's like, and that got you nowhere but drained. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but drained and exhausted, and it just doesn't end well. It just doesn't end well.
It don't. And an example of that is trying to bring everybody with you. When you found an opportunity that is going to get you in a place of where you're doing better, financially, socially, spiritually, whatever it is that you're doing, and you're trying to bring people with you, and everybody don't want to go, and they can't go, and they don't want to go, and we have to be okay with that. It's not that you are selling out. It's not that you think that you're better than everybody else, and we can have a discussion about that, because I feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong thinking that you're better, not better than somebody else, but that you're better than a situation, and you try to do something about it to elevate yourself. I'm all about upward trajectory all day long, but you can't take everybody with you, because everybody either don't want to go or they can't go because they are stuck mentally in different situations, and you have to be okay with that. Like, again, you have to choose, and there's nothing wrong with taking people with you, for people that actually wants to go, that is interested in doing the work and moving forward and progressing. But you cannot drag people kicking and screaming to do better. Like, they have to want to do that for themselves. So then that's how people get trapped in those bonds, because it's like, I love this person, whether it's romantically or it's a friend. It's like, I love this person with all my heart. I don't want to leave them behind, but I'm dragging them and dragging me, because I barely know what it is that I'm doing in the situation as well. I found a way out, and now I can get myself there. But you can't drag a person kicking and screaming. Like, at some point, you got to let them go and be okay with where they are. Like, everybody is not meant to go. There's nothing wrong with, kicking and talking with them and talking to them and vibing. But
I also think people don't, and those for us, whether you got a spiritual background or not, I think that a lot of people block their blessings in essence of like, first of all, I think that a lot of times people look at blessings as good luck, and blessings to me are a way that you're rewarded for your excellence. And because that you fought the good fight and you stayed in there, listen, because a lot of people want the world without the war, and some people just want to go along for the ride and not realizing like what all you've done to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people could be like, I see toy vacay, I see this, I see that. Like, you don't know the hell I've been through. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? You don't know the tears I've cried. You don't know the prayers I've prayed. You don't know my journey. You don't know my story. And most times people sit back and they look, and there's a level, there's a level of excellence, especially when people know you and they feel like you're friends, or they've known you, they've grown up with you. There's a level of entitlement and expectation.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you spoke on that, because how do you feel like when people like me, like for the people who know me, they know that your girl done been through some things, and they just like, you shouldn't be here. You should for the things that you dealt with in your life, you shouldn't look like this. You should be way worse than what it is. And they continue to try to pull you down and just bring you back and constantly reminding you of your past. And it may not even have anything to do with you. Like I grew up with a parent that has substance abuse problems. So people just look at me and just like constantly, like, will be like, girl, your mama was this, and and I'm like, well, what her choices have to do with the choices that I made? It was like a constant reminder of, what it is that she did, like the decision, and then, granted, it happens, like the decisions that she made would affect me, but I'm like, I'm an adult, like I made different decisions, and that shouldn't be my outcome. But it was always almost like a constant reminder of, you shouldn't be this far in life. You shouldn't be here. And I'm going to continue to knock you down until you understand that you got to stop doing what it is that you're doing to progress in life, because I'm going to keep reminding you that you shouldn't be in this in
almost
the
like
area
you're not
of
deserving
what
of
it is.
it.
Yeah, and it's like, and those relationships, those are the ones that you run from.
Please,
Like
thank you.
yes, you smile and nod, and you run. Like those relationships, we're not cultivating those relationships.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing.
No, we're not doing that
with those
We're not
relationships.
doing. I don't want to be around anybody who reminds me of my old self. And that's not to say that I am not. Listen, I am not embarrassed. I am not. I'm not anything. Listen, that little Latoya got big Latoya where she is now. Right. So I am no by no way, form, or fashion embarrassed about anything in my past. But hell, I also don't need to be constantly reminded of who I used to be or what I was or what my family was. And I feel like that people who do that, I read this thing that said that people keep bringing up your past because they don't have access. They keep bringing up the old you because they don't have access to the new you. So it's like, listen. And you won't. And people too. And y'all stop. Listen, we got to normalize saying that I'm better. Like, I'm better than that. And I think that people think like you're saying you're better than people. You're better than. Listen, there are things that I am better than. There are places where I do not patronize. There are places that it just is what it is. And it's like, why is that so like, why is that like horrible? Like, why is that such a horrible thing? And listen, y'all be around people who see what you don't see in yourselves. You be around people who want more for you than you may want for yourself in the moment. Listen, be around people that gas you. Because sometimes you can't gas yourself. Sometimes you need sis to be like, sometimes you need sis to remind you who you are. Like, what is you doing? You are this, you are that. Like, you need people to remind you of who you are, because there are going to be times that you forget. Yeah. There are times that I forget who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to, it's people who will be like, okay, I'm confused because didn't you go up like it'll be times. I mean, even when again we linked up, you was telling Brandon all these. I got in the car, I was bawling. Like, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, you just don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like those are the people that you want around you. Those are the people you want in your circle. Yeah. I don't want secret competition. I don't want secret competition. Like, I don't need somebody to remind me that, girl, remember you used to take the bus. Like, and we talking about old times, but listen, I don't take the bus no more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, if you take the bus, that's cool. But I'm just saying, like, again, be around people who push you, challenge you, and again, can speak into your future. Like, okay, that's cool. We can talk about the past, but let's talk about the future. Like, let's talk about the present. Like, let's build each other up. Like, instead of tearing each other down. Because listen, don't let me see somebody on my social media. Whether again, you could be friend, family, whoever. I ain't got to know you. Listen, come on, dress. Come on, new job. Come on, car. Like, that is my favorite.
I got her every day. I be like, come on, thighs. Cause listen, she love them thighs, and I'm gonna remind you, that's what you love on you. Okay, come on through every single time. Every single people that I don't even know. It does not matter. Like, this world, especially for Black women, it is so difficult for us to navigate. It's so difficult for us to thank you, bartenders, because we are doing kettle lemonade and kettle vodka, and yeah, they definitely do the thing. But it's so difficult for us as Black women to navigate this world. We have to really be around people who celebrate us. Like, baby, ain't nothing wrong with a compliment. It takes 5 seconds for a compliment. Honestly, like, we have paved the way for a compliment to be something that's, hey, dress, hey, okay, I see it. Nothing. And it goes a long way. Like, I don't want to be around anybody that's always like, I'm all about positivity and moving forward, upward trajectory. That it just is what it is. Like, we can reminisce about the past, but moving forward, let's talk about moving forward. Let's talk about, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, how does that look? And I think a lot of us too operate in survival mode. Yeah. A lot of us operate in survival mode. And I feel like survival mode only gets you till about the age of 25. And after the age of 25, like, survival mode no longer works. Yeah. And it's going to call you to do the real work. It's going to cause you to do the real work. And I think especially as women, especially as Black women, I think it is important to know how to be alone, but again, but not be lonely. And that's going to call you to do self-work.
Yeah.
That's going to call you to dig deep. And I promise you that once you do that self-work, you will not settle for less, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whatever that looks like, you will not, I promise you, you will not settle for less once you do that self-work, because you are going to realize your absolute worth. And one thing that somebody gave me years ago, this had to be maybe about 3-4 years ago, I had met this woman. She's actually doing my daughter's hair in her 40s. I don't know how we started talking, and she realized, she was like, you ain't, wait, how old you is? And I was like, I'm 41. She's like, you ain't been on vacation by yourself. She was like, She was like, that's unacceptable. She was like, every woman in their 40s should have been on vacation by themselves. I was like, well, that don't seem like fun. That don't seem like this. And when I tell you, I took a leap of faith last year, and I didn't just go on vacation, but I went out the country by myself. And I tell you, it was so life-changing for me. Like, first of all, I could get up and do what I wanted to do and eat what I wanted to eat. I took about 3 naps, and I don't even take naps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so, and honestly, I was able to sit out, like, listen to the wind, listen to myself. Like, there is nothing, because again, we live in such a fast world, especially if you're a mother. Like, I mean, you are constantly going, you are constantly moving. And I just never had the ability to turn off. But to be honest, I never even knew what that was. Like, people, because listen, I be thinking up until I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a constant. And being in a situation where I just didn't have to, all I had to do, and it's something about being still, and like people say, just be. And I honestly felt like that's what I was able to experience. I was able to just be. And it was such a life-changing experience. First of all, I feel like in my 40s, I finally learned to love my own company.
Oh,
like, you can't tell me I'm not dope as hell. Alive. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've learned to enjoy me. I used to be a person like, oh, I don't like outdoors. Like, I'm in my 40s, like, who taught you that?
Yeah.
Like, ma'am, you like outside. You like the water. You like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you're only able to do those things when you are truly able to. Again, I think every woman needs that alone time, whatever that looks like. Every woman needs that season to be alone but not lonely. So you are able to hear whatever you serve, like you're able to hear and be spiritually connected, like all those kinds of things. And I just say, like, listen, I'm just saying we deserve it all. I'm saying we ain't settling for less. We ain't taking no shorts. And we're going into next year. I mean, we leaving this year lit, and we're going into next year.
Yes, and I love how you said that you love to be in your own company. And I will say this: I was raised by my grandmother, and she told me that, I remember it was my freshman year in high school, and it was only a little while ago.
Awesome.
It was a few short years ago. And I remember coming in the house, and I was so mad, and I just slumped down on the couch like, I'm so sick and tired of people always canceling on me. And she was like, why are you still not going to do what it is that you said you would do? I was like, well, nobody's going with me. I'm like, it's going to be boring. I don't want to sit there by myself. And she was like, how would you get to know who you are if you don't go somewhere by yourself? And I did the same thing. I went out by myself, and I mean, I had like the royal treatment. And for me to just go out by myself, it was just like, it was unheard of. And me, I think I was like 15 years old at the time, and a 15-year-old going out by themselves, it just didn't make sense. But I enjoyed my own company. I found out what it was that I liked, what I didn't like. I learned things about myself. I was at peace with myself. I was able to think. And ever since then, I knew that as long as I had me and I loved me, that I can do whatever it was that I needed to do. Like, I don't need an army of people behind me, because I know, like, I'm that army. I was sitting there with myself, and I bigged up myself so much to where of course I have this cocky personality, and this it's not even necessary. I feel like it's a healthy arrogance about myself, because I love me and I know I'm super dope. And it was like, I would have never even learned any of these things about myself had I not went out by myself. And I traveled by myself too. I think I was my freshman year in college. I traveled by myself, and I was like, I can do this. You know what I mean? Like, I am that girl. This is something that I can do. I had these values instilled in me very, very early on. And I did this by myself already. So it's just like, don't think that it's one of those things. Like, we have to get to, we go through, I feel like at our age, in our 20s we change, in our 30s we change, in our 40s, like every time, like change is constant, and change is good. And don't let somebody tell you that, oh, you're changing and that's a bad thing. Like, change is good. We change our drawers, we change our clothes, we change everything in our life. Well, okay, you already seen my hair change, it's gonna change again. So I'm like, change is good. Don't let somebody sit up here and tell you that change is not good. It is healthy, but.
And I do think that the people who tell you that have an issue with change are the people who are not changing.
They are not.
And they become comfortable with who you are, because typically I've noticed or I've seen is that when you grow and another person or your circle is not growing, you make them uncomfortable.
Oh, very.
Because the first thing they be like, I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, like, well,
I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, again, I'm sorry, I don't want to be the same person I was last year, last week, you know what I'm saying? Like, we should be evolving and we should be changing, and we should be around people who are doing the same and are pushing you to do the same, even when you're not. They should be saying, hey, what we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, listen, this is the season. Listen, I'm not slowing down for nobody to catch up.
At all.
I'm not slowing down for nobody to catch up. And it's just, it just is what it is. Like, and listen, if I have to love you away from me, then that is what it is as well. And I feel like a lot of times, like, I feel like I've been told, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Well, that just feels cold, or that feels this or that. Listen, when you spend 40 years living for everybody but you, and when you finally come into who you are, listen, you gotta play. Listen, I'm playing catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing catch up, and at the end of the day, like, listen, I've realized I'm a fixer. And I know it was, and again, childhood stuff. Like, okay, I was a person who, again, felt like I wasn't protected, or I wasn't this and I wasn't that. So listen, I want to come in and be that for somebody else. I don't want somebody to feel how I felt. Like, you feel like you're not protected, you feel like you don't have friends, you feel like you don't have support. Listen, I'm overly extended. I'm exhausted. And I had to realize, like, first of all, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to heal. And then secondly, everything and everybody is not your problem to fix. Like, it is not your problem to fix. Like,
that's why we have therapists. Like, seriously, like, that's their job. They went to school. They get paid for that.
And the truth of the matter, some people don't want to be fixed. There are some people, there are people who do, and it sounds probably ridiculous, it sounds far-fetched and out there. There are people who simply don't want to be fixed. They don't want to be healed. They are comfortable with where they're at, and they comfortable with, as long as if they can keep you there. And listen, you gotta run. You gotta run. And listen, and this is what I'm talking about with self-preservation. At some point, I gotta pick me. Because I come before you in the alphabet every day of the week. So at this, I gotta choose me, and you have to choose to live. And listen, I ain't gonna be able to do it. You have to get you somebody else to do it. Now, if you'd have caught me a couple of years ago, you'd have got me.
Not before this particular age, absolutely.
But not now.
Mid-20s,
not now,
early 30s, And people get complacent in life as well. And it's like, I'm comfortable here. I know how to navigate back and forth. And this is just what I do. I know how to navigate life.
Hey, Sarah. Talk about everybody. I know, right? Talk about, hey, girl.
It's like, I know how to navigate life here. This
Brenda.
is what I learned how to do. And this is where I'm going to stay. And it's always one person in the group or a few people that's in the group that's just like, this is not where we're supposed to be. We got to figure out what's going on, and we got to escape and get out of here. And then it's always that one person that's grabbing you by your hair, and it's just like, no, you need to come back here. This is where life is comfortable. Yes, it's bad, but we're not going to do anything to disturb this process. And of course, it's hard. Life is hard. It's hard to navigate and figure out new things. You may win, you may fail, and that's okay. That's all about life. But I feel like at this age, we're I feel like me. I'm a mother of 2 girls and 1 boy and 1 son. And they watch everything that I do. They see everything that I do, and how I handle situations is the same way that they're going to handle situations as well. I always look at it and say, do I want my son, if my son was to marry a woman that's like me, would I be okay with that?
Right.
And not saying that I course correct or anything like that, but I always look at it and see what it is that I can improve on in my life and every day, like the way that I talk to people. Am I, hospitable? Am I the friend that I think that I am? Like I can think that all of these things are good, but when I really sit back and I analyze, like, oh, I think I'm a good friend, but I don't have no time for nobody. When people sit here and talk to me, I always make the situation about me. Am I really that person who I think that I am? And I think when we sit down and we be honest with ourselves and we analyze ourselves in these situations, it's like, am I that dope chick that I think that I am? And we have to really do that. It's really with accountability, really.
Right. And that's what change comes in. Because listen, that's what self-awareness comes in, and self-reflection, and all those good things come in at, and they're necessary. And I know for me, and again, those of us who are parents, I know like I know initially like that's always been my driving force. You know what I'm saying? Even with my change and wanting to be like mentally healthy and just want to be a healthier person in different areas of my life. Like I used to always like, just because it stormed on me, I don't want my kids to get wet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, if I do this, then this won't touch my kids. So if I do this, then this won't touch my children. Like, and I think that you have to find some type of motivation as to listen. Something has to be the driving force. It should be you, but in the case of you are not there and it cannot be you, listen. Those of us who have children, whatever that looks like. I read this thing. I was watching this podcast or something, and this guy said his father was an alcoholic. And he said, it was me and my brother. He said, my brother was an alcoholic because my father was an alcoholic. He said, I never took a drink because my father was an alcoholic. So you can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like you can come from the same thing, but have different outcomes, different perceptions, different, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, just because you come from here, and that's again, when you grow up with people, again, they expect you, okay, we all came from this. We all came from the mud, and now there's an expectation that you're supposed to stay there. And when you decide, like, no, I'm gonna move, you know what I'm saying? I want to be like Weezy and them. I want to move to, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's a problem. And listen, I feel like it's never a problem. Listen, I'm gonna move up, but I'm gonna reach back.
All day.
I'm gonna reach back all day long. But absolutely, we have a moral obligation to reach back. Absolutely. So we have a moral obligation to reach back.
Unfortunately, I had to sever ties with people who felt like it was, again, the forward motion, but the never reach back. I am the girl who is, whoever want to come, I feel like you're welcome to come as long as you're willing to put in the work. But I had, and you have to learn how and when to sever ties with people. And there's nothing wrong with that when you feel like a person is not good for you. They're not good for the situation. And it's okay to sever ties with that person. And that's what I had to do. It was like, we're about forward motion and I'm about looking back. But you're looking back with your nose turned up in the air like, I don't want to, I can't, I'm not gonna. And I'm just like, wait a minute, hold on down. Like we have this opportunity to do better for, ourselves, and people helped us out. Why would I not turn around and reach back and help people because I was helped out? Like I'm not doing this by myself. I had people helping me along the way. And when you felt like you couldn't reach back, I was like, you're not the type of person that I feel like I need in my circle. And that, and in situations like that, that's okay to be able to let somebody go who's not building into you or helping upbuild you and your situation or a cause that you feel strongly about. Like I'm all about.
And you're supposed to pour. You're supposed to pour into people, but here's the thing: people are supposed to pour into you as well. Yeah. And I'm not pouring where my pour goes on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just not gonna do it. You get you somebody else to do it. I'm not gonna do it. Well, so when I even say reach back, like, cause listen, everybody ain't reachable. Okay, everybody ain't reachable.
Everybody don't want it, and we have to understand and be okay with that. Everybody does not want it.
They don't, and that's okay too, though. That's okay, but don't expect me not to want it.
Yeah, Oh my God,
That's
is
all
the
I'm
most
saying.
important thing. It's like because you don't want it, and I do. Now it's the friction, and that's the problem. And then for me, I always look like, dang, did I create a trauma bond with this person? And 7 out of 10, I've done that.
Absolutely.
I've done it. I've created somewhere along the line that there was some type of bonding, trauma bond that happened with that person. But listen,
Listen, that's what we grew up. Listen, we know better. And listen, and we all are here to, well, most of us are here to uplift one another's, pour into one another, speaking to one another's futures. Listen and challenge one, like all of that great stuff, like all it's listen, celebrate one another, like all of that good stuff. And I don't know, I'm all for upward. Up is it upward?
Upward motion.
It's
upward trajectory.
Yeah. Okay. So we're coming to whatever that up is. Okay. We just know we want to go up.
Yes,
we just know we want to go up.
We do.
And listen, and we want everybody else to go too. Come on, let's go.
Like we have so many intelligent people and just like super dope, creative people within our circle and within our community, and we just want everybody to understand that each one teach one, reach one. It really is.
No, it's a real thing.
For sure.
It's a real thing. Everybody has something different to bring to the table. Everybody has something else to bring to the table, and you just never know how you may impact or encourage or whatever it is. So listen, we normalizing no more weird shit going forward. It is finished. Okay. Yes. We don't want to see it. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to do none of that stuff. If you're mad at somebody, you go get you a diary. You go write it down. Listen, whatever that needs to be, listen, you get your little recording. Everybody, we got these new phones now. You talk about it and you take it to Jesus. You do not take the social media. You hear me? Don't do it. It is not respected and it's weird. And you get smut on your record. Listen, I'm keeping tally. So don't do it. You mad at somebody? Listen, you go talk it out. Y'all do not go and run to social media and other folks telling other folks business and things of that nature. Listen, talk about it with your sister. Talk about it with your brother. Whatever that looks like, y'all talk it out. And if you can't talk it out, listen, it is okay to go apart and be apart and not be chaotic and drama and all those other shenanigans. Like, it's weird and we don't like it. Let's just stop it. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. And as you guys can see, we are on this whole situation to where if y'all read our description, like we told y'all to, we are creating a community to where we can come together. We're creating a sisterhood where we can use this platform as a sounding board. You want to get something off your chest. You want to talk about a topic. This is what we are here for. And you see, we are talking about mental health. And I think that it's so much, to health. It's like you have to have your mental health together. You have to have your physical health together as well. And we want to bring these ladies on this platform that is going to give us some information about histolic health. Like they was telling me about these herbs that can tea that will help you focus, that can help with a whole host of different things. And I know personally with ADHD, and there's a tea that you can take. I think it's called lion's mane or something like that you can take that will help focus as well. So we want to be able to bring them on this platform and give you guys this information that if you have something that you're dealing with health-wise, because I am a person who don't like to take drugs. I feel like they have all of this stuff that's in this medication, and it's the small print that tells you, oh, if you take this for your headache, it may cause rectal bleeding and aneurysms and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, flag on the field. Like, what else can I do for this?
Yeah.
So they were telling me, like, this is something that you could do. This is something that you can take. So we want to bring them on here. So if you have any health, we're not doctors. Let me get this totally clear. We are not doctors. But if you have some questions or some concerns about something that's like, oh, what can I take for headaches? And what can I take for I'm trying to fall asleep or anything like that? Email us, drop that stuff in the chat, and we will ask them that as well so that they can have everything prepared to answer for you guys. But we have a bunch of questions that we want to ask them as well. So not only are we talking about mental health, but we're talking about just completing everything in the whole body as well.
I'm excited about that.
I am.
I'm excited about that.
I feel
so
like it's gonna be good.
No, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good conversation. So yeah, so make sure y'all email us and send us your questions so we can hit them with the questions, and then we're gonna hit y'all with the answers. And we, like I said, we definitely want to bring them on the platform so then y'all can live chat with them and ask them questions on the spot as well. So we are going to get that hopefully by our next episode. We will be announcing the date. And I don't know. I just want to end with listen, know your value, and healing is something. It's real simple. It is just saying that I have done the work to be better and I deserve better, and know that you deserve better, whether it is in friendships or relationships. Listen, family ships, whatever that looks like, just know your worth, know your value, and add tax is all I'm saying.
And add tax. I love it. Yes. So again, thank you for watching. And we see everybody on here. I just want to give a shout out to everybody. Let me see if I can. Amber, hey girl, hey, I see you. Sarah, hey girl, hey.
I know y'all listen.
Is that Shakira? Oh, look, let me squint because like I said, I am a woman of a particular age. And
I see you, Brenda, Sarah, Amber,
Shakia, Clarissa. Hey y'all.
Hey girl, hey.
I know, right? Thank you guys so much for watching.
We love y'all. We appreciate each and every one of you.
For those of you who have not received the swag bag, drop a heart in the chat. Drop any comment, emoji, or dot, or whatever it is, and we can get these swag bags up to you because we love giving out gifts and everything like that. We want to show you guys that we appreciate you guys for tuning in with us. So drop something in the comments in the chat, and we'll get you those swag bags. Email us or let us know what your size is, and we'll send you some goodies. And we appreciate
thank y'all for rocking with us and listen. And growing with us, rocking with us, and listen. And we appreciate you guys. Like from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate you guys. We love you all. And listen, don't forget to send us questions, comments, topics, whatever. If y'all want to, y'all want to pull up and get on the comfy couch with us, like let us know, hit us up. Well, listen, we got air conditioning in here, and we have good cocktails and snacks off camera. Boom.
Yes.
So I'm just saying. So listen, hit us up. Hit us up if it's something that we missing. We need to be talking about. Because listen, we growing. And we want y'all to grow with us. We want to grow with y'all. So listen, hit us up and let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
And we love y'all. And to the next episode. Oh, this is it too. Outside of that too, listen, y'all. Our next episode or our next, I don't know. We're going to see.
As we on vacation.
I don't know. We may take y'all on a vacation with us.
I think that would be super dope to take them on vacation with
us. We're going to let y'all know. We're going to let y'all know. Listen. Listen, no recording us or nothing. Put y'all phones down. Listen, lock them up. We don't want to be on nobody's camera. So I don't know. We're going to let y'all know. We're going to send out a couple secret emails or something. I'm just saying. So anyway, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Listen, good night and have a good Labor Day. Who all cooking? I'm just saying, y'all can send us that email too. Because we do pull up. We're on the north side of Chicago. Let us know. We pull up. Because I ain't cooking. I don't cook. So anyway, we love y'all. Good night and peace.
Bye.